I'm Josh Light with PoliticIt.com here in Washington with Ron Bemis. He's a Republican running for Congress in District 7. How are you doing today, Ron?
Fine. Thank you, Josh, for having me.
Well, glad to have you. So, Ron, tell me big differences between you and your competitor in this race.
Well, there's many. It's a David and Goliath race. I'm running for the first time as a political newcomer against a 24-year entrenched incumbent. And basically, my story is that he has a record of high debt and low results, whereas I have a record of getting results. For example, I brought a little whiteboard here. In comparison, I have been a lawyer for 3 decades on both plaintiffs and defense side, and they make laws in Washington. He has no experience. He's only been in government his entire career. In business, I managed a mid-sized law firm for 10 years, including managing partners, successfully growing jobs. He has no such experience. In education, I teach at the University of Washington Law School and also have run programs for children across the state and taught in public schools. And in public service, I have had a very strong record for many, many years. I'm independent. I'll be a bridge builder in Congress. I want to go for cost-effective legislation. We no longer have that anymore. And I want to work together with all sides, whether Democrat, Republican, any president. I'll work together. My incumbent is not known for that. He's known for high partisanship. So big differences.
So tell me about more of your experience. You mentioned that you're a professor?
Yes. Well, I'm an instructor at the University of Washington Law School in trial advocacy, and that's where we teach not only young students but also other lawyers through the years who need more experience on how to advocate, how to persuade, how to bring together complicated facts and really make a difference. The same kind of skills and qualities I hope to bring and serve for the public in Washington, D.C.
And what are you really concerned about in this race, Ron?
The biggest is, and I'll pull out one more whiteboard if I could, Josh, and that is the huge national debt that is burying our young people and our nation. When Jim McDermott entered office in 1989, if you imagine a 1-foot well of water that you're standing in, it took 214 years of our republic to get 1 foot deep of water. That's $2.7 trillion. The population's gone up 27% in that time. That'd be about knee-high. The actual spending of the government has gone up about double. That would have been about thigh-high by now. But the national debt, Josh, has gone up 600%. That would be over my head in water. We're drowning in debt. He's dug us in a very deep hole, and he's the lead digger, as they say. When you're in a hole, stop digging, but he's the lead digger. He has, for instance, last year voted for $997 in increases, which is all debt, in increased spending, debt spending, for every $1 in cuts. A 1,000 to 1 ratio is way out of balance. It's reckless, and it's not fair, and it's not caring to our young people because they're the ones, as he heads off to retirement, they're the ones that will be paying this debt for decades to come. So I've risen up. I've said I've had a very successful career in the private sector. I now want to serve the public in the public sector. So big differences. Deep debt I've talked about, that's $75,000 now per young person. It's like adding $75,000 to your credit card on top of all the other debts you have. He hasn't been effective at the same time, so high cost, low effect. He's rated F by the National Taxpayers Union, which evaluates both sides on their spending. And very few of his bills go anywhere. Finally, he's been a very highly partisan congressman, and the majority of his spending comes from big money special interests. Mine do not. Mine is a grassroots effort, and he won't even debate me to try to defend this high debt, poor results record. So I'm facing a situation where he has great name familiarity, but I feel I have merit over his big money. He has name familiarity, but I'm talking about the future, and he represents the past.
And what are you doing to compete in the online world with your IT score?
Well, in the online world, we're doing a number of things, and I've been pretty new to social media, but it's been fantastic. We've developed a Facebook site. We've developed Twitter. We have over 300 volunteers, again, entirely grassroots, out there not only handing out literature, but telling them to get to Facebook, get to Twitter, and really get out there, because young people I'm passionate about. I've represented young people. I've defended them in lawsuits. I've represented even sexually exploited children and youth in law school. And I have 2 of my own, 21 and 23, and I'm passionate about the future for young people. And so much of Congress is not. They're gridlocked. They're not getting things done. And they're putting such a big debt on young people that I never had when I was young, and I want to help change that. I want to get our budgets balanced and actually get our fiscal house in order in Washington, D.C. We balance or have to balance a budget in our households. Why can't they do that in Washington, D.C.?
Ron, how's your campaign going?
It's going great. In the primary, I was new to the campaign. We only had a 2-month-old campaign. I was against 6 other challengers for the number 2 spot here in Washington because it's a top 2 system. And I was outspent by 15-1 by one of the challengers, and yet I had 2.5 times the votes that he had, as well as more votes than all the other 5 challengers combined. So I came in late, but we've been having a strong finish, and now we're on to the general election. So I upset the others in the primary, and I'm hoping to upset Jim McDermott in the general election.
Ron, where can people go to learn more about you?
They can go to a number of sites. One is ronbemisforcongress.org. That's our website. They can go to Facebook at Ron Bemis for Congress, and they can go to Twitter at @electronbemis. Those are our many sites, and we'd be happy to have you join us.
Well, thanks for meeting with us, Ron.
Thanks so much, Josh.